We are about an hour and a half out of Shanghai station, and all we see is high rises. And that started from Hangzhou. And before Hangzhou, honestly, I was asleep, so I didn't notice. And they built so much, but they're still continually building. And I think this is what explains why China has very reasonable property prices. So people are not just completely upside down buying a property like it is in Canada. In Canada, it feels like you're giving an arm and a leg and something to buy a property. This is the Hangzhou Dong station that we're passing by. So our train stopped at Hangzhou Nan, so it didn't stop at Hangzhou Dong. And Hangzhou is supposed to be just a small tourist city. And but you could see, like, we've been noticing these buildings, we've noticed the size of the train stations, and those are those two stations that we know of, but usually most cities are serviced by 4 train stations.
East, west, north, south.
East, west, north, south, and sometimes the central.
5 minutes.
Yeah. And so some would be missing one of them or 2 of them. So the densities drop down a little bit here. At first, when I heard that China poured more concrete in 3 years than America did in 100 years, I was like, there has to be something wrong with the statistics, because that couldn't be true. When you come to China and you see the development and you see the bridges, the roads, the railway tracks, the construction, both commercial as well as residential, then is when you know, yeah, that's a fact. They did pour that much of concrete that fast. But one of the things that's surprising to me about this country still is that it's not just the cities, but even the small towns are clean. Like, people are keeping the roads clean. There's no trash around the places. And these are the traditional 3-4 story homes that people in the suburbs live in. And these are also densely packed. This is probably a luxury building of some sort. As you can see, these buildings, they stand in the middle of nowhere, so as to say, but they're still occupied. There's still clothing hanging from the windows for drying. I believe what happens is when you detach people from owning real estate, which is the case that happens in India and Canada. Everybody invests in real estate because that's the only way they get wealthy, and that's the only way they know how to keep their money safe. And then over time they leverage it, they over leverage it. So now instead of it being an investment, it becomes the biggest debt bubble for them. And but that sucks the money out of the traditional economy. There's not much money to be spent. It's all in real estate. In India, it's all in land value. So, might as well dig a hole and bury it in it because it's not coming out and not helping other people. An economy is vibrant when people are out there spending their money, buying goods, buying services.
各位旅客，为确保您和他人的乘车安全，请将您的行李稳妥地放置在座位上方的行李架上。放置时
Notice the solar heating systems on the top of those buildings.
以免造成行李滑落，砸伤自己或他人。较大行李物品请放在车厢一端的大件行李处，不要堵塞通道。感谢您的配合。各位旅客，为了确保大家的旅行安全，禁止在动车组列车上任